Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name is Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading for you, tuning into the day's energies, seeing what divine messages of guidance come through. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Thank you. Outcome and advice. Thank you. All right. Interesting. Okay, so the overall energy of today's reading is the Five of Pentacles. Feeling left out, feeling abandonment. There's some type of separation here, feeling lost, feeling abandoned, uncared for. Financial difficulties. Okay, when I've been in this energy, it feels like a lot of worry about finances, around your pentacles, 3D. And there's this feeling like I'm all alone, nobody cares, abandonment, yeah, rejection, Two of Wands reverse and Fool card reverse. There's a repeating of cycles here. Feels like there's whoever this is about, the Five of Pentacles, whoever this message is for. There's something about what's pulling you forward, what your intentions, what your excitement is. Feels like you're not following your excitement and you're repeating some type of pattern. This feels like programming, like how you were raised to believe around your abundance, around trying to fit in, around trying. There's a lot of trying energy here. Instead of just doing, I'm trying to fit in, trying to make things work. This feels like a stuck pattern. Being abandoned, feeling like, feels like it takes a while as you feel left out, as you feel abandoned. As the more and more this happens, then you are literally abandoned. It feels like for some of you, this might be the greatest fear, to be abandoned. Yeah, it's coming up to be healed. Star card and Temperance, both of those energies, both of these beings have cups in their hand with water, and they're transmuting, alchemizing, shifting their beliefs, shifting their feelings, their emotions, being willing to feel difficult emotions so you can create something different. There's a transformational type of energy here. So some of you are ready for this transformation, and that's why it's happening, in this reading, why it's coming up in this reading. A real healing from this. It looks like you were in lesson. You were raised with a programming, with a belief system to fit in to the belief system, to uplift the belief system, the structure. It's not made for an individual. And it feels like it didn't bring you happiness. You felt you didn't fit in. There's something about the role that you were assigned, maybe scapegoat. You're not allowed to be yourself. That feels evident, and also crippling to your spirit. But it looks like You've already processed this. I'm talking to someone who's already processed this abandonment issue, healed through it, or you are healing through this now. It's a group reading, so it's hard to... What does the viewer need to know about this transformation? I just heard rags to riches. So 10 of Pentacles, 8 of Wands. So it goes from rags of feeling abandoned. So it kind of feels like the ugly duckling story. That poor little gosling that's not fitting in with the rest of the ducklings, doesn't fit in, was never meant to fit in, was just in the right place. Feels like you as a soul picked a very dense family system where you would not be appreciated for who you are, that you would, you're actually a very powerful being, but to be raised to not even know your own power, to not know your own abilities, to not remember who you really are as a whole, and to take on other people's belief systems that just never fit. It feels like a lot of lessons that perfectly created an environment where you would never fit in, that you would never get the love and care from the environment, so you would have to go within and find yourself, to heal from this, to find yourself, to find what works for you, to not try to fit into some other prescribed way of being, but to be yourself and to heal. It feels like there's a lot of unlearning of past patterns, deprogramming, deconstructing, throwing off the projections that were thrown onto you. Learn how to take your power back. That I'm talking to somebody, wow, this is such a specific message. I'm talking to somebody who's got something they're wanting to create, a legacy, something that you want to leave behind in this world. And there's something you've learned along your journeys about not fitting in, about finding yourself, about understanding yourself in this world that you're in, taking your power back, healing, transmuting, alchemizing, and it looks like creating something. Once you become the version of yourself that you prefer to be, and throw off the yoke of the limitations that you were taught and raised to believe about yourself, then things really start moving. There's an acceleration, that it isn't about what you shoulding yourself. I should do. It's about tuning into your own driving system, your own navigation system. It isn't about who do I trust, who do I love. It's about trusting yourself, not needing to trust the people in the environment, but learning how to connect with your higher self and tune into who you really are and who you want to be and what you want to create in this lifetime. You can't convince people. You can't take some people with you. You can't convince them. They were never meant to be convinced or changed. You were the one that was meant to change. In a way, it feels like the environment that you were raised in, the people, it looks like they are souls that do not have any intentions to change their vibration for maybe, for some of them, 2 or 3 more lifetimes. There is no rush. There is no shoulding. There's no way you have to show up in this reality. It's a creative space. You're free to do what you want in this creative space. And so there's no rush to becoming something. It feels like on a soul level, you're here just for the experience of it. to have this experience of coming from being so caught off from who you are, not remembering who you are, trusting the people around you and your environment, and trying your best to fit into whatever operating system you were shown. But at this point or some point, it looks like you healed from that and alchemized that energy, and now you're focused on what you want, what you want. And now it feels like things are really speeding up, because once you let go of the beliefs that were keeping you limited, that were keeping you stuck in repeating cycles, then now you can expand. Now you can be the version of you want to be. Not to fit in, but to be yourself, to love yourself. All right, wow. In What's Hidden, we have the Knight of Pentacles. This showed up in yesterday's reading that I just did as well, but it showed up in the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Knight of Pentacles is cultivating what you want along the way. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight of the deck. But he's slow because he is planting seeds in the present time. So as he moves forward into the future towards his goal, towards his destination, all the seeds that he's planted, once he reaches that goal and that destination, he has cultivated an environment, a lot. Joy, abundance, success, fun, wonder, nourishing experiences, whatever it is that floats your boat. And it feels like if you haven't been doing that and you've been just goal oriented, I'm not going to be happy until, well, then you are blocking your own happiness with that belief. I'm not going to be happy until I'm in a relationship. Well, so be it. How about I'm going to be happy and joyful and love myself and enjoy life. And then if a lover shows up, wonderful. If not, still wonderful, because I'm enjoying life along the way. It's a lot of pressure to put on a partner. I need you to make me happy. I need you to complete me. This also makes you impervious. Like, I don't care if I'm alone because I've got everything that I need. I can create along the way. And that type of energy says, join me here if you'd like, if you see a match. But if not, if you can't join me at this level, then no thank you. That type of empowered way of being instead of needing someone. Okay. Someone is vulnerable. Who's vulnerable? Someone that you are having to work with, collaborate with. For some of you, it feels like there's a child of yours that feels unprotected, or you feel as vulnerable. There's a lot of difficult options here, a lack of options. You're trying to work something through, figure something out. There's some unhappy environment here, and the child or children feel kind of stuck in the middle, vulnerable. For some of you, this feels like an ex-partner that is using the children as pawns in a toxic relationship. This could be like a deadbeat parent or someone who's not paying, not helping with the finances. What would help the viewer? What would help the viewer understand this message, understand what to do? Okay, justice is challenging right now. There's a lot of emotions attached to this. Just stay honest. Just stay with the truth. This feels like a lot of the medicine to whatever's going on. Just stay communicating the truth. Just stay in this energy of truth. Speak the truth, even if it leads to you not looking good. There's something here about just being honest, keeping emotion. There's something, it feels like you might be gray rocking, not giving into. There's something here about needing to be not in your emotions, even though it's challenging, because this is about your child or children and emotions, and someone who is using your relationship with your children to try to create friction, punishment, revenge type of energy. For some of you, it feels like there's this, I can't get out of this environment. I'm stuck because of kids. I don't want to leave because of the kids. Trying to keep them safe. So many emotions here. It feels like a lot of disappointment too. Regrets, disappointment, hurt. It feels like if a relationship hasn't ended, it hasn't expired, it's already expired, but nobody's talking about it. Some of you might be staying for financial reasons. Yeah. But with the Eight of Pentacles, it looks like there's something that you can do to work towards creating abundance for yourself. What's one thing I can do today in the 3D to create the version of me I prefer and the life I prefer to have in the real world? So what's one step I can take to create independence for myself and kids? This is slow going. This is Knight of Pentacles. What's one thing I can plant today and every day? Take 10 minutes in every day to start building so I can build what I want along the way. What's one way I can create stability and security for myself and my kids? Is it a job? Is it a better job? Is it understanding what the finances are? Do you have access to your finances? Do you have all the passwords and, login for your finances? Taking control over and becoming conscious of your finances, of what that looks like, of what, and start planning, start cultivating what you want along the way. Oh, it's so far, it's so long. Yes, but time's going to march on anyway. So what's one thing you can do today to create the change you want, you say you want, and be the version of you that you prefer to have? No one's coming in to rescue you. This has to come from the inside. And what an example to set for children, to be in an uncomfortable environment that's not conducive for you, where you're very unhappy and repeating cycles, and you deciding to change from within. Not change out here first, but here. Change you and make different decisions. I'm going to start planting seeds of what I want. What do you know what it is you want? I want independence. I want freedom. I want success. I want ease in my day. I want to enjoy my day. I want to thrive instead of being in constant survival mode. And I want to show my kids how to do it by my example. Not what I say, but by what I do. Feels like that's what the message is here. Yes, it's hard. Yes, there's all these obstacles. Yes. And if you want that change, if you want to experience that change, you got to be the change. You got to start changing how you see things, how you see yourself, and start planning those steps. That's what I'm saying. All right, in the outcome and advice, we have the world in reverse. This is, again, we've got both the Fool in reverse, repeating cycles, and then world in reverse, not ending a cycle. There's all this potential here, amazing star, and it feels like these energies are primed, are ripe for transformation, for alchemizing. But you got to get off your south node, out of lesson, and start heading towards your north node. Your dreams, your big wishes, and you got to become the version of yourself that can have those big dreams. If you are still in a stuck environment, Five of Pentacles, and this reading has resonated, then the message is very clear. And stop telling the story of why you can't do it, of all the odds that are against you. Yes, right. But can you stop thinking about all those odds and start seeing the way through, the way out, clearing them instead of constantly going back over why it's difficult for you and challenging. Anything? Oh, it looks like this I brought up earlier in the reading, that you might have been taught to try to relate to everyone in your environment this way instead of connect with your higher self. Stop caring about what everybody in your environment, how they're seeing you. Once you start learning about yourself and not caring what others say, you start getting some distance and start seeing that whatever people are saying about you to you, it's mostly their stuff being projected onto you. And once you realize that, and you don't have to take it so personally, other people's projections, limitations, fears projected onto you. Anything, there's a lot of happiness and blessings. What might also help is a daily practice of gratitude. That's one thing to cultivate. First thing in the morning before you start, because I woke up and I would just immediately start thinking about my day and I just, that's the lens then that the rest of the day kind of, I would just be pulled unconsciously into my day, my miserable day. Instead, when I wake up, that's a great time to set the energy of the day. I'm so grateful I woke up. I'm so grateful I've got a warm, cozy bed. I'm so grateful for my dog Chuck that's always sleeping next to me and snoring. I'm so grateful for the light and the sunshine. I love mornings. I love waking up and seeing the birds and going outside and filling the bird feeders and getting my coffee and then sitting down and doing tarot readings. I love my mornings. So kind of creating that energy every day, planting what you want along the way. You're going to have to do this. You're going to have to make all the changes. So enjoy who you are. Enjoy who you are along the way. I'm also when I started shifting internally, making big shifts, the people around me couldn't see it. I felt very differently. I was seeing the world very differently. It took a long time for the people in my environment to see who I now was. And a lot of people didn't like the new version of me because the new version of me didn't chase after their attention, their care, didn't tolerate being treated poorly or crappy comments being played in my face. I stood up for myself and I called them out. And people didn't like the new version of me, but I did. That's all that matters. So for some of you, this change, eventually the environment will change, can change if you allow it. For some of you, it's like, I don't want to change because I can't take everyone with me. And you can't. But it does look like once you connect with your higher self and make this connection, you and your higher self, the most important relationship that you have, your relationship with yourself, and get to know yourself in a real beautiful way, then blessings come in. Then you become the version of yourself that can receive those blessings. When you are programmed to please others, to fix others, you are out of alignment. And so none of your blessings can find you because you're at a different frequency. So you have to become the frequency, just be yourself. So your blessings can find you. All right, anything else? Feels complete. All right, I hope that's helpful. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great day.